praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone that do good well. Peace, safety, and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect, and 1/3. All right, we are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, we come out to the highways and byways, all right, in the spirit to prophesize, and ultimately for the Lord to seal his elect through this gospel being preached. And now in these last days, this true gospel is ultimately being banned. All right, so there's a reason why we're using, my channel, all right, on YouTube, because our church channel, all right, is not allowed right now to speak freely. So, in the spirit, we're just going to speak more in parables because Esau, Edom, he's got a lot of his inventions. He's got a lot of his inventions for censorship. So we'll leave it there, and we can start with the prophecy in Amos 9 and 11.
Yep. This is the book of Amos chapter 8 and verse 11.
Yep. Oh yeah, 8 and 11. Yep. I'm sorry.
Amos 8.
I'm in the spirit of thinking about House of David.
Right, yep.
We can read that though.
Yep. Amos 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power.
Yep.
That I will send a famine in the land.
Yep. See, the glorious word, like Matthew 4 and 4 says, man shall not live by bread alone. The glorious word of the gospel, the Lord is getting ready to remove it off of the earth via his prophets. Yep. Okay, because if you didn't know, the message was always brought forth to the Israelites and warnings to the other nations by the Hebrew Israelite prophets. So this is what we've come out to do in the spirit, all right, is to prophesy, to warn, to edify, to exhort in these last days, because we are in the last days. Because what? Where are we? We're in Babylon. Okay, keep going.
And it goes on to say that I will send a famine in the land.
Yep.
Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
See, there's a famine coming where the true gospel, if a brother could hold Matthew 24 and 14, you got to get Matthew 24 and 14, the true gospel. No, hey, you too. The true gospel, all right, is being preached right now, but there's going to come a time where the gospel is going to be removed, okay, because it went to who it needed to. It warned who it needed to. This is why Esau's allowed to take videos down. Hey, there's brothers that, Marar, when you coming in, they weren't taking videos down. You could say whatever, whenever, to whoever.
Well, the old Rochester channel is still up.
Yeah, and there's
that says a lot.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different kind of speech in there. But our channel's getting hit. So that does say a lot. So hey, Brakateh Yahweh Shemel Shai. So we're gonna push brothers' personal channels to get more subscribers. You brothers subscribe to our channels, so the word can keep coming out for when it needs to. So at the Wadi Yahweh Shemel Shai, we can, he blocks this way, we just spin around.
It's like water. You can stop it this way, but eventually that water's just gonna break through.
Yep.
And keep flowing and keep spreading.
Yep. Their belly shall flow rivers of living water. This is why we're speaking, because it is not us that speak. The Spirit is moving us to speak these things.
Back in you had the Matthew.
Oh yeah, you got that.
Yep.
Read that loud, brother.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom.
And real quick, it said this gospel. So it didn't say, it said this because there's different gospels. There's different good news. There's different messages that are sent out to people. We've all heard good messages. They even, we were going into it not too long, the harvesting. Remember, they tell you to plant the seed.
Right. Sow a seed.
Sow a seed. The prosperity doctrine.
Prosperity gospel.
The prosperity gospel. So there's many good messages out here. But this is the in particular one that is to prophesize in the book of Isaiah. The Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings.
Their gospels are fruitless.
Right.
Ours is actually bearing fruit.
Well, their gospel don't free the captive. It don't bound the broken. It don't feed. It don't quench the thirst. It's like you go in there and you're just like, give me it. Like you want it to hit and it just don't hit, because it ain't the truth. This is the truth. This is a moth. You see? And I want to do a lesson, and I want to pull brothers' videos up and title it, "This is the gospel being preached."
Yep.
This is the gospel that this is talking about. Watch, read it again.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for the witness unto all nations.
He just witnessed it.
then shall the end come.
See, and these people are witnessing it. That's why, if you want, we could quote it, but it says, I'll make you a spectacle. This is why we're a spectacle, because it shall be a witness. We just had some Israelite sisters. We were talking to them off camera before we set up. They was checking out the Harriet Tubman statue over there as a memorial, and at the bottom it says the journey to freedom. And this is what this is. We are on our journey to freedom, because the freedom is the kingdom, and the kingdom is as a long journey. See? So this is what's taking place, i.e. through the gospel. We have the true gospel. The gospel is to the Israelites. This is why Yahweh Shai, he said, preach to the lost tribes, the kingdom of heaven's at hand. Yep. Go to the children of Israel. The kingdom of heaven is the Israelites. They ain't censoring y'all, because you know what it is? Y'all are PC. PC is, the Bible ain't politically correct, man. And PC is worldly. You're not gonna get a PC message up here. That's bottom line. You ain't get a political, what is it, political correction? How you say it? PC. Yeah, what does that mean again? Damn, I lost my thought.
You right, yeah,
politically correct.
Yeah.
The politically correct, Yahweh Shai wasn't politically correct. You know, he called Israelite foreigner, he said, he was talking about dogs. You know what I mean? And the crumbs, he was testing her. But my point is, you're not gonna get a worldly vibe when you come up to the altar. The altar is holy.
See, Esau has commercialized everything.
Thank you.
He has commercialized Christianity to the fact to where you actually believe that the Lord loves everyone.
Yep.
You know, and one of the elders put in the chat, he pretty much breaks it down.
Please, John 3:16, the commentary?
Yes.
Yes. Please read that, because I want to do a lesson. Watch when the Edomite scholars that break the scriptures down, watch what they say John 3:16 means.
Get it together.
They David, what's my man name? David Guzik. Yeah, he broke it down. Yeah, sometimes I press that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you press the media. It'll, if you go here and then you click there, it goes right. See, right there.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a commentary on John 3:16.
John what?
John 3:16. You know, the feel-good scripture.
Right.
You know?
The close the book.
The commercialized idea of what God
feels.
When you think about God, you have to mention that scripture, even Stone Cold.
Right.
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 3:16.
Right. But even that logic. Hey, do you like every woman?
No.
Right. We're men. I don't like every woman. So how you gonna tell God he just likes everybody? There's some people you look at and be like, I can't like you.
I can't stand you.
I can't like you. That's it.
Or they might look attractive, but when they start talking, then you go, I don't know.
Yep.
So like, you don't miss
Yep.
the whole game.
Yep.
So this is John 3:16. It says the Jew was ready enough to think of God as loving Israel, but no passage appears to be cited in which any Jewish writer, which we know Israelite, right?
Yep.
Prophets, scribes,
Yep.
maintains that God loved the world. It is a distinctively Christian idea.
Woo! They said no Israelite writing ever stated God loves the world.
So you won't find that in none of the prophets.
Right.
But you'll find that.
You send that to
Yeah. It's right in the blue letter.
Oh, it's in the blue.
Oh,
It's in the blue.
Oh,
Can I show
wow.
them? Sure. It's in the blue letter. The blue letter shows you that.
Oh shit.
Sure.
The blue letter shows you
I got
that.
this all, man.
Let's read it again.
It says, maintains that God loved the world. It is the distinctively Christian idea that God's love is wide enough to embrace all mankind.
See?
So it's a commercialized idea.
It's a Christian view. The Christians came up with that. Shalom, brother. So where are we at?
I had Amos. I had a few.
All right.
Back in Amos.
What you got, Mariah?
This is Amos chapter 5 and verse 12. Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time.
Yeah, and you're witnessing that now. You know, I myself, speaking from my standpoint, when I'm out and about, I don't say things like I used to say them before. You know, you kind of drop little things. Now, we're in the spirit, hey, things got to play out how they got to play out. And when you look at these people, when you even look at them, it's like, you see them as swine, Like, why am I going to put this unclean vessel on to something that would clean? They don't care. Because you start realizing they don't got eyes to hear or ears to hear. You brothers, you've ever said something and It's like they didn't even hear
They
you.
blink at you.
Because the Lord got blinders.
Yep.
You ever heard of the term, my eyes are peeled? Because what did it say when Paul, the scales were removed? So these people spiritually are blinded and spiritually can't hear. That's why we're open. You know, it's not that we're sensitive, we're actually open. So when things happen, you know, or things are said, Satan will use that because we're open to it. You see, but them, they're not open. That's why they'll say, hey, yesterday, this white woman, I hope I can say that without getting censored. Our channel got knocked. You know, it's got a strike, so we're on my other channel. But the other day, and I knew it was the demon on her. I was over here, and this Edomite woman, she was doing something with like a air conditioner, and she said, I could lift it because I'm a strong, independent woman. And the damn B word started struggling, and someone said, she said, yeah, can you help me? But you just said, and I felt the demon in her said it because I was right there.
Right.
I'm over here doing this, and she's over here doing that. And I hear her say, I didn't laugh, I didn't snicker, I didn't make a face. I've been learning to live in my head. So I'm over here with it, and then I need help. But that go to show you, man. These people are unclean vessels. You know, they're proud in nature. So ain't no advice, ain't nothing. Hey, live with what you ready to die for. You know?
Got another one.
Yep.
This is Ezekiel chapter 3.
So we're going to speak more in parable today.
Yeah, you got it.
All right?
You got it.
We're going to speak more in parables today. Because obviously the plain speech now is you know, yeah.
And a parable is pretty much a comparison between heavenly things and worldly things.
Right.
That's why the Lord used the vineyard,
Right.
you know, plowing, you know.
Right.
But he was talking about the kingdom.
So when I want to compare a Edomite to something on earth, I'm just calling him a dirt bag.
It's called my dog.
You know? Right.
Rufus.
Right. And not DMX dog.
Little Rufus.
Right. We ain't calling him Caleb. What you brothers got?
This is Ezekiel 3 and 25.
They trying to censor church, bro. We're in church, man. You know, you got the brothers right here, not to blow. You got brothers right here, the scripture open, you know, the Lord got us. This is church. This is the gospel. This is the news. This is what the Spirit is doing. And who's trying to stop it? The Edomite with the niggamite woman as a secretary. You know, Eve, man.
Two niggas.
You know? Right.
Ezekiel 3 and 25. But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them. Verse 26. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house.
Hey, you know it's heavy? Especially if you're a brother that the Lord put the Spirit on his feet, you'll remember, like I remember instances where I literally bit my tongue, you know, because you quick to say things. But the scriptures also say, be as one that knoweth, you know, and not, you know, because there's also scriptures where it talk about season, you know. So you got something?
Check this out. This is the ledger, right? It says Ezekiel's speechlessness lasted 7 years.
Wow.
So it got to the point where they went and grabbed him up and said, man, you got to break this down to us. And the Lord was like, nope.
Wow.
They would stay silent for 7 years.
Wow.
You know?
That proves that fame is coming.
So that proves it's going to come a time where the men of the Lord are going to be highly sought after, even if they do get us. The Lord ain't going to allow us to break it down to you.
Yep.
You know?
I thought you said John 3:16. I thought you said it was a stone.
Right.
That's what he told
You
us.
know what that is? Go to them that buy that.
Yeah. Let's get it.
version.
Matthews?
Yes.
Let's get it. Let's go into it. Let's bring it all out. What you got?
Back in Amos 8 and verse 12, Amos chapter 8 and verse 12, and it says,
Hey, and we're the true Christians too. I want to let that be known. And when you look into the history, we were you know why we were called Christians?
Because it was mocking us.
Right. It was mockery. So that's what people don't know, that we actually were mocked. Like now, even vocab, he mocks and laughs because it says that when they put our picture on Google, address comes up.
Right.
That's mockery.
Yep.
When you talk about how we say the name, that's mockery. They're mocking us. Everything that they're doing is showing that we are the true persecuted believers.
Well, the fact that they call us black. The fact that they call us black is mockery.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was saying yesterday, I'm like, How the hell can people look at when we were called colored, you know, like you were colored, that looked like that was like a stain. You know what I'm saying? They're like, that's a stain. You know, don't call them that. But now you call us black. First you went to calling us a color, and now you call us in particular color. It's the same concept.
Yep.
How do you accept being called black, but you're upset when they call you colored? What is black? It's a color.
Yep.
Like, you got it, man. Do you brothers see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's logic.
I got a real quick one. Hosea 1 and verse 10. Odie Bagodi.
Yeah.
Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children
let
of
them get it. Oh yeah, we let the bros get it.
Hosea 1 and 10.
Yep.
Yep.
You brothers, you get there. We gonna read it together today. And this is what the Lord's showing you. This is why through the Spirit it's called a solemn assembly. Because the elect ultimately is a solemn assembly. All you brothers and sisters across the board, the comment boards, all throughout Babylon and throughout, we're all being gathered, man. You know? And through a holy assembly.
That's right.
You know? You there? Yep.
Hosea 1 and verse 10, and it says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Which makes sense why they call us the minority.
Yep.
Because we're the majority. Why do you call us a minority? When in fact, we're the majority. There's more Hebrew Israelites on earth than any other nation. More than Edom, more than Ishmael, more than Ham, more than Ammon. And Ammon is, you know, because a lot of them Jakes. You know, there's a lot of our people. You know, keep going. That's why Abraham said he'd be a father of nations. Each tribe is so big, it's a nation.
Yep.
But you know what? What's so deep about it? Our affliction, our punishment made that prophecy come true.
Yeah.
Because of diaspora, of us being scattered.
Yep.
That made it so we're in every nation.
Well, what's all right? You said because of our affliction, right?
Yeah.
What scripture would you use? And I'm gonna give you in Exodus to prove that. That because of our affliction, we were great in number. What scripture in Exodus?
That when we went into Egypt.
Close. You're in the right chapter. Watch. Go to Exodus 1 and 7. And then we'll go back to Hosea, but let's read Exodus 1 and 7. And a fun fact, this scripture, DMX had it tattooed on his neck.
Yep.
So what the brother's saying is true, but what we know is it's also found in the scriptures. Yep, you got it, Malak. Read it.
All right. This is the book of Exodus.
Yep.
Chapter 1, verse 7.
Yep.
And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them.
See?
Yep.
Yep.
See?
What's a little more?
Yeah.
Because said the more they oppressed them.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Go down to verse 12.
Yeah. Read it down.
12.
Yep.
Go straight down. to
Yeah.
12.
Yeah. Read it all.
Okay.
Straight there.
Verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
See? Keep going.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses.
Yep.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
See? The more they afflicted us, the more we grew.
Right.
So now we can go back to Hosea, but that shows you right there.
Right.
And everybody knows about Egypt. People that don't even believe in God know about Egypt. But what they don't know is the slaves that they used to build the pyramids was us.
Yo, that's crazy. That's what I need to say to you. Because your boy Alizar, you said that we didn't build this pyramid.
It just said it.
You know
It
what?
just said with mortar and rigor.
All right, come on, man.
But you know what proves that we did? Because they were doing it over here in America.
Right.
How did they get
Right,
that
who-
knowledge from?
Who built them here? All right, did other people might have built them? Yeah, they could have. But what we're talking about is the specific pyramids And it said they built them like the Sphinx and all that stuff. Just like, just like here we built the White House. That's shit. Sometimes, Jake, they just can't leave it alone. It's already built. The puzzle's already been framed, and like, ain't there other things that you could focus your energy on? You know?
So that was about 4,000 years ago, right? So why him building pyramids now?
Right.
They just don't do it anymore.
Right. If we didn't build them, why are they not building them today?
Yeah, in Egypt. Why are they not constructing new pyramids?
Exactly.
Now? They're what's that? They're tourist attractions.
Exactly.
We will build more.
Exactly. So we can now go back to Hosea.
Back in Hosea 1 and verse 10, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
Right, through afflictions, through persecutions, through diaspora. All right, this is why it was said, will he go to the Jews amongst the Gentiles? Okay.
That's a beautiful precept.
Call
Do you
love.
know they put that in a Christian Bible movie? Right in your face.
Wow.
It will go over your head if you don't know.
See?
But the priest, show you the high priest saying, did he go to the Gentiles that are, did he go teach them that are among the Greeks? But if you don't know, you're like, oh shit. But once you know and you watch it again.
Right.
And I want to say this too, just how when we in the spirit say when it's a new year, it's a new spirit, there's also a new spirit of affliction on Jake depending on the new king. Because you see how we were cool in Egypt until a new king arose.
Yep.
Just like we were cool in the Persian captivity under Cyrus, but then a new king arose. You had Darius, then another king, Xerxes. And then under Xerxes, he allowed the prime minister to be Haman. And under Haman the Edomite, he executed an order of slaughter. So every time there's a new king, could depend on a new spirit of affliction upon Israel. So look at like from Trump to Biden, right? Because under Trump, it was still, but you see, but now under Biden, it's tightening.
Grievous.
It's grievous.
Same thing with Clinton.
See, new king, and where the spiritual Egypt. Okay, so understand that when there's a certain king, that ultimately can show the vibration of the captivity on us as a people.
Can I read this real quick? This is back in Exodus 1 and 12, then I'll read the legend
Okay.
here. Back in Exodus 1, verse 12.
Well, we're back in Exodus,
Right.
you know.
Second Exodus coming
You know,
soon.
I'll say it again. That statue that says "Journey to Freedom." You know, we're on a journey, brothers. You know, me and Crutch, as I was speaking off camera, the Lord also can makes you nomadic. You know, where you kind of roll with what happened. You know, you might not have the same house all the time. You know, like you get a yearly lease. You might not stay there. You know, the 2 years. You out the next year. But we're learning that because we're on the move. You know, we're on the move because this is how the Lord is setting us up to be. You know.
Pilgrim soon.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Exodus 1 and 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Oh, well, that's us now. The more we're chastised, the more we grow in the spirit. The more things we go through, the harder it makes us. You know? The things that, and guess what? The things that we're going through now is to prepare us for the battle to come. That's what happened with David. He went through what he had to go through fighting the lion, right? The bear, to ultimately fight, you know, Goliath. But he had faith. You got to think. You don't think he wasn't calling on the Lord wrestling a lion?
Hell yeah.
Right? Fighting a bear. So, you know, that's spiritual. You know what I mean? And both those beasts were a part of Daniel's vision. You know, the lion, which is the but what is it called? The Griffith.
Lion with the wings.
Yeah, that's Babylon, right? Babylonian Syrian captivity, which is the lion. Then the bear is the Medo-Persian. You know?
Back in Exodus it says, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Right? So pretty much, you know, we went into Egypt 70 souls, but we came out over 600,000. You know, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it does mention 600,000.
Then this is what the legend says, right? It says later, the Moabites shared with the Egyptians this loathing of Israelites. Now, loathing is intense hatred, you know, when they saw how numerous they were.
Oh, well, that's why Joshua was told in 24, are you going to go to the Ammonites and choose their gods? So the Ammon's mentioned in the book of Joshua too. Because that's one thing people you know, fail to realize when you read that there's other nations around. You know, it wasn't just Hamites and Israelites in Egypt. You had other nations and their existence.
Hence the Garden of Eden.
Right.
They don't realize it was other
Right,
people.
other people, exactly. It wasn't just Adam and Eve.
Right.
That's why Amalek was the first to go to war with us when we got out of Egypt.
Right, Egypt was like the center of the world at that time.
Yeah.
The Nile River, you know, Egypt was a very. So you got to think how other nations were dealing. They saw us in captivity. They was doing trade with them and shit. They were in a state of rejoicing.
Yep.
And they also saw how numerous we became, so they began to hate us.
Yep.
Then when we got free, they got, oh shit. Moab was like, we gotta put a curse on them.
Right.
We gotta stop them.
Right.
Esau was like, hell no, y'all not coming through my land.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
They ain't not fucking with
So
us.
other nations saw what happened, man. And they were afraid because
Yeah.
they saw how the Lord was working with them.
Yep. Yep. Even Jake's physical stature is frightening. Because you know what I was thinking about when the new king said there's more of them than us? That reminds me of the slavery here. There was one overseer, if you will, to a plantation of slaves. And they didn't even have chains on them. That's why they made the Willie Lynch letter. Like, we need to enchant them in their mind. Basically what Albert Pike did is what Balak wanted Balaam to do, right?
Yeah.
The Willie Lynch letter. He wanted you to curse them to put them in a state of, you know, disarray.
It says Pharaoh's scheme resulted in more Israelites because they grew and more fear amongst the Egyptians.
So back then, Israelite man had more than one wife. Because how were they growing?
Right.
You know what I mean? How were they growing so much?
And they didn't go there with Israelite women.
Nope.
Perfect example is Joseph.
Yep. Yep. Well, that anybody that's still in that spirit, you're a blast from the past, bro.
You're belligerent.
You're right, because we clearly are past that. We understand now multiple wives, and we understand that it's the Israelite seed. Clearly, you know,
Common sense.
it really is.
Back in Hosea.
Hosea, yep.
And then back in Amos.
I can interject.
Yeah.
It also goes into the modern day law over here in America where polygamy is a crime.
Yeah.
You can't have multiple wives.
Right.
Because they're fearful of us multiplying.
Right.
Because there's strength in numbers.
Right.
Which is still happening anyway. You
Right.
look at the oak, I ain't gonna say it, but
Yeah.
you look at the big oak, people are dropping like flies from there.
Yeah.
So Esau's numbers.
Hey, you brothers got to go on Odyssey, man. I was watching Elder Pastor Har's latest video on the thing. Bro, that's a weapon. That's all I'm going to say. It's a weapon.
It's a weapon of mass
Yep.
depletion.
Yep. Control Alt Deleted. We'll put it like these programs have been injected to be Control Alt and deleted. Remember on site, he said, I see blinds.
Right.
He just didn't tell you they was dropping, you know? We'll just get this and we'll just keep it going, you know?
Back in Hosea 1 and verse 10, Hosea 1 and verse 10, and it says, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered."
Yep, that's why Satan jumped on King David to do a census. And Esau gets his power from Satan, so that's why he did one, all right? Hey, I remember when they did that, did they knock on your door?
I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah.
Coming back though.
Last year?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, they was adamant.
They found us.
They found us, and then he tricked us. He came with like a Pizza Hut hat on. No, I'm just playing. But no, he came like at a time where he knew we'd be home.
Yeah.
So I said, man, I'm just gonna go talk to him. So I had to tell him, you know what I mean, blah blah blah. But that's because they getting their numbers ready.
Yep.
Hey, it says a king numbereth before he goes to war. He wages the matter.
Oh, yeah.
He counts the cost that he's counting. So he's counting how many, you know? He's getting it ready.
But that also goes into the red list. You know,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
yellow list.
Yeah, Santa's coming to see who's naughty or nice. You know?
A few years ago, a white lady came to censorship me.
Yeah.
I told her, nah, none of your business.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was at peace with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to get him out the way.
Right.
They caught my BM. She did it.
Yeah. Hey. But you know what? At the end of the day, the Lord is infusing in our spirit more faith to where now it's like, all right, you know,
Yep,
do what you
exactly.
got to do.
Yep.
You know, like I found myself the other day, you know, I was kind of like doing the math on like some finances, and I said, I don't even need to be doing the math. The Lord got me. The Lord got us. You know, not that I'm saying I'm just throwing money out, but I kind of was crunching numbers, and I'm like, the Lord can provide.
Now I know what you mean. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes I don't even look at my account like fuck it. I just pay the bills.
Right. Yep. And now I'm more in the spirit of I'm just glad I have the money to pay it.
Right. Because It ain't no point to stressing.
Yeah.
Right. That shit will kill you.
You can't. You stretching that dollar thin, man. It's it's pointless.
See, Jake is in a position where he's scared to look at it to come.
Yeah, I
He's
was.
so stressing, man.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
I won't even look at the man. I had it set up like Danny Glover in Color Purple. Keep going.
And it goes on to say, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
Oh, well, let's get a precept. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Let's go and find out what we were being called when we were brought here. See, we were brought, and the early Christians, the early European Christians were calling us savages. So we weren't being called by our name, we were being called savages. See? So let's read a curse.
This is
You
Deuteronomy.
brothers there?
Yep.
Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall lead thee.
Let's look in the blue letter what byword means. Let's see what that. I'm just curious. I'm just curious what a byword is.
I'm just reading it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna read it out loud.
Oh, okay.
This is the ledger. Foreign occupation was followed by deportation. Moses prophesied that rebellious Israel would be uprooted by the Lord himself, and that their king would worship other gods in a strange nation, which neither they nor their fathers have known. This roots out Egypt, of course, which their fathers knew well. Yeah, so pretty much,
Right there. Bring this out. Now watch what the word for byword means.
So the word for byword means a word, a taunt, or a gib.
Nigger,
In the
right?
way-
Jigaboo,
Yep.
spick, right? Monkey, moon cricket. These are real shit, man.
Horse monkey.
Yeah, thank you. Porch monkey. Oh,
Takata.
Hakata, pickaninny. You know what a pickaninny is?
Picnic, you get the rope.
No, but that's a good too. Pickaninny is a specific byword for Benjamin slaves.
Oh, that's because you know what? Because my stepfather, they always say, get your picnic.
See?
Yeah.
Like they call little kids picnic.
See?
Yep.
That's what they specifically called the Israelites that were from Jamaica.
Yep.
Jamaica was set up to be a sick-ass island to break Jake down with the body. Now watch.
And the word gib is
It
supposed
goes into gib, and yep.
It's a G-I-B-E, and it says an insulting or mocking remark, a taunt.
An insulting remark. Tell that nigga get that nigga, right? That's a byword.
Yep, spade and all that.
Oh,
Yes,
they
man.
called us Hebrews. See? Jigaboo. See?
Sambo.
Yep.
Damn.
I saw this basketball team, these Edomites, they had on the back of their jerseys to spell Negro, like N-E, like G-R-O.
Yep.
Byword.
Yep. Yep.
Man,
Well, that's why the Washington Redskins got changed. The Indians.
Oh, and football. What's that? The Redskins, they got changed
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Hell, on my travels, I just passed a golf course that should say Indian Head Dolphin.
See?
That's offensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
See?
Scalping,
I wouldn't. In the world, I was doing a route, stocking grocery stores, and the one plaza I went to was called Plantation Plaza.
Oh.
And I was just a loudmouth, motherfucker in the world. And I was like, why it gotta be called this? You know what I mean? So Jake.
somebody gotta say it,
yeah.
Who's gonna say it?
One out here on there's one out here in what is that shit going out here? If you go past the Grease Ridge Mall, you go all the way out. What's that? Some shit out there. But it's a party house called the Plantation Party House.
That's foul. That's foul.
And this shit is still up.
That's
to this
foul.
day.
See?
But you can tell it was an old plantation. It's big ass acres.
Well, you know what?
Way out.
You know why it says
That's
that?
Grease Ridge
Let's
Mall.
read the curse again.
This is
Because it says these will be for a sign and an everlasting wonder.
okay. That's like 42.
Yeah, it's like 45. 45. Yep.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee.
Right. That's why certain Israelites that kind of made it out, they still were treated like
LeBron James.
yeah, that's even
Prime
there you go. Because I was kind of thinking more 60s, like Ray Charles, like they couldn't go down deep south because they were still that taunting byword.
Satchmo, what's his name? To play the trumpet.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about too.
Damn.
Next name.
Skies that are green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Louis Armstrong.
Louis,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Louis, yep.
One
See?
of the greatest musicians.
Yep.
Even on what's her name? Oprah Winfrey, when she went to France.
See?
She tried to buy a purse out of her. They didn't want to.
Profiled her.
Damn.
Read it again.
She a fucking billionaire.
That shit pursued
Excuse my
her.
language.
That's yep. It pursued it. Read it again.
It says moreover.
Because can I just say this, which we know, where else can you break the narrative down of what we go through as a people? What we're going through, other nations, other humans don't go through this.
Right, and you can't go to Black History class because I've taken those classes in college. You don't really learn shit. You might watch Harlem Nights.
That's how I learned this.
Real talk. Like talk about the Confederate flag and
Right.
shit.
Wow.
But
Buffalo
it's like,
Soldier.
It don't really explain nothing,
They
man.
trick you.
You
You
know?
see what the heathen do, they try to take pieces of the curses and apply it to them. You gotta fit all the motherfuckers.
Yep.
Okay, not just, oh, well, the Irish were indentured
Yep.
servants. But
But
yeah,
those
but were
were
they getting their
Israelites.
backs beaten fucking? Were they wives getting, like, come on, man.
Well, a lot of them were Israelites.
Yeah.
You know, because our people ruled Ireland during the so-called Dark Ages. A lot of them from the tribe of Benjamin.
Yep.
House of the Bar.
Yep.
Right.
Well, Dublin means Blackpool, you know, and Scots. William Wallace was a Jake.
And also Bob Marley.
Yep.
Man. His pop was an Irishman.
He was an Irish Marine. He's got to be an Israelite.
Yeah,
Esau is not
Irish
talented
Marine?
like that. He's not talented like that.
I got a friend I was telling you about that his pops is an Edomite. But you know it's crazy. His pops was black. His own family was kind of like blackballed him, you know what I'm saying? And he like his pops always felt comfortable hanging around with black people.
That's a
Well,
Jake.
what were we just reading? Hosea, whereas the sand of the sea.
Yeah.
Now it's time for you to be spiritual, not simple. Not every person is an Israelite, you know.
And the thing is, I had a dream about my boy A when I was telling you about he mixed, you know what I'm saying? I had a dream about him like driving a flying car, and I was with another partner of mine, and he was like, "Yo, can I go?" I was like, "Oh no, man, because they might act funny with you." But then he pulled up, and he came out of the sky with a flying car. Him and his other homeboy. And this is my friend that's his father's an Edomite, and I was like, "Damn!" I woke up with that. So that's a spiritual dream right
Yeah.
there. I said he might not be an Edomite.
That's the Lord showing you that.
He got
yeah.
he got flavor. He could play.
Yeah.
Israelite.
Keep playing
Yeah.
piano real
Yeah.
good and all. He got talent.
Scott Storch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
Negro, Scott Storch, was breaking the piano down while getting a brush cut. He's blowing the
Right.
one down. That's a Jake.
Yeah.
You know? But let's keep going.
Yep.
Oh, yep,
Yeah.
finish the curse.
It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee.
Solomon Northrop. He was born free, and they pursued his ass all the way up north and brought him back down south.
Damn.
That's a true story.
12 years.
Yep.
That's a nightmare.
Yep.
Man.
And overtake thee till thou be destroyed,
Yep.
because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee,
Yep.
and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder,
See?
and upon thy seed forever.
And what did it say in Hateful Eight? No Mexicans. What did it say?
Yeah. You got it right.
It said no Mexicans, no dogs.
Yeah. Yep.
So those are signs upon thee. Segregation, white only. In the movie Life, he said, "How much to make it a nigga pie?"
Yeah. White's only pie.
See? And then now you got Esau doing jokes on World Star saying Trump for president, white pies only or some shit like that. And he set it up in the ghetto.
Damn.
See how they that's a I'm getting a little upset right now.
Mockery.
I'm getting a little fucking upset right now.
Yeah, those pranks and shit.
Yeah.
They always got the spirit to prank our people.
Yeah.
You know?
I hate
Let-
that shit
hey,
too.
watch
I
me
like
go
that.
to the hood and
The
see who
hood.
can dunk on me. There's like
hate that.
they do that shit. There's like this there's like the hood's now a carnival.
Right.
You know, hey, I'm bored. You want to drive through the hood? You know, and Jake he's an exhibit.
Yep.
But
Well-
you know what, Slocky?
Yeah.
You know what proves that we're Israelites? A lot of the talent comes out the hood, and the vibration from the inner city where Jake is at, there's people from the suburbs follow it, from the country following it.
Yep.
And I went to make a delivery way out in Stick somewhere. This motherfucker was bumping Kevin Gates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when I came, he tried to turn it off because he didn't want me to see that he listened to that music.
Right.
Well, that's like an Office Space. In the first scene, he was the Edomite in the car. He was bumping like that gangster. And then the Jake walking by, like selling something. He turned it down, and he was mumbling. Then when he left, he turned it back and started bumping it. Hey, they felt that shit, man.
Right.
That's how you do.
Yeah.
That proves we're Israelites. Most of the talent comes from the inner city or the ghetto or the hood, where our people is at.
Yeah.
That's why you said we're the salt of the earth.
You got Edomite women in the suburbs bumping city girls.
Yeah.
But you in the suburbs, you know? Let's keep it going.
Back in Hosea, you have more than that, bro?
A little more. It says, well, no, my bad, I read it.
It was good? Okay.
Back in Hosea 1 and verse 10. Back in Hosea chapter 1 and verse 10.
And what proves that we're under curses is the fact that it's a pushback when we come out with the Bible.
It really is.
What you doing with the Bible, nigga?
Right.
You know you can't read or write. That's how it used to be.
Yep.
We weren't allowed to read or write. That's crazy.
But if you got caught with the scriptures, it was a very heinous crime that was begun.
Punishable by death.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like when Kunta ran away, he chopped his foot off.
Yep.
But imagine he got caught with the Bible. Probably would have chopped his head off.
Yep.
Right.
You saw what Nat Turner did with it.
Right.
Hosea 1 and 10, and it says, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, ye
Right, like
are.
when you brothers were in the world, Ira, what you call yourself when you was in the world? Like what nationality did you say you were?
I call myself a nigga. African.
African American?
I know what I mean. I never really used that term. Really
Yeah.
much. I just said
Yeah.
black. Just,
Yeah.
Black,
Yeah.
black.
Whatever.
And but look at that, you went through 3 different terms.
Right.
Those are 3 different bywords. African American, nigga, and black. What about you, Malak? See? See?
I never cleaved that.
I
Yeah,
never, in the world, I would never cleave to saying I was black.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in a Native American household. So it was kind of my way to fucking throw that dig back. Because I knew you thought I was just black. But in my spirit, I always know I'm Native. I'm Native, now what?
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
But it was still a byword.
That did happen.
I was still
to
a
me.
byword though.
That happened to me at one of the fast food joints I worked at years ago. I think it was Wendy's. And I was getting into it with this Edomite manager. He kept fucking with me and shit. I was cursing his ass out.
Always, yeah.
And motherfucker said something about something, but I was like, motherfucker stole this land from the natives too. And then a motherfucker gonna ask me, are you Native American? And then I didn't know it was my father, but one of my great grandmothers, she's Cherokee. So I was like, and then the lady was like, oh, I was like, well, yeah, I am Native too.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, so you really don't like this country?
Woo!
I was like, yeah.
And we shouldn't.
You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't like this country.
Right.
You know, surely oppression makes a wise man mad. You be insane you would be an enemy. You be anti Yahweh Shai to like this country. Ezekiel 30 and 6.
Every day I wake up, I hate this place more and more, man.
Right.
Yeah.
I hate the woman here, I hate the air, I hate the
Yeah. Hey, we at the Hater Players Club.
I hate how the house is set up.
Yep.
I hate how the fucking money
Yep.
is there.
You said
Yep.
Ezekiel what?
30 and 6.
I hate it here.
I hate it
I don't like nothing about this place, man.
more than ever this year because when we first came in, I speak for myself, I hated Esau for face value, like racism.
Yeah.
Now I hate him because of his spirit. Because he don't gotta call me the N-word for me to be like, look at this motherfucker, man. You just fucking get the fuck out
That
the
is
way.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I went to the store, you know, they expect you to say, no, you need to get out of my way. That's how they're looking at you, though.
Yeah,
Like you're in their way.
Yeah.
Like you can say, excuse me.
Yeah.
The whole spirit, they just have a spirit of
Contention.
to oppress you.
Yeah.
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 Control.
Like where I'm at right now, if you brothers don't know, we got a fucking demon eating my neighbor, and if I park in the front and I leave, he'll park in the front. Just to fuck with me. Or if I go do laundry, he'll go do laundry and leave his clothes in there. You know what I mean? But those things, things like that, that's purifying us. That's putting us on a level to where, hey man, I'm controlling what I could do. So that's a sacrifice, you know? Though I've been learning to turn that frown upside down. Like now the Lord know what I'm going through, and I chose to be spiritual, not carnal. So that's pleasing to the Lord.
Right, they're just demons.
Yeah.
Like the last camp, the bitch came through with a Ouija board tattooed on him.
Yeah. Now let's read this. We made a point. Just real quick, Ezekiel 30 and 6.
30 and 6.
Yeah.
The book of Ezekiel,
Read it loud, brother.
chapter 30, verse 6. Thus says the Lord, they also that uphold Egypt shall fall.
Right there we want. See? They that uphold Egypt will fall. Meaning what? The people that want to keep this place going. What is the God? By all Parif, the God of community. Hey, what is that? Community God. That clean up the community is demonic. The land is already defiled. Why are you going through and trying to clean up what was set up to be for your destruction? This shit gonna go. So when you want to clean up the community, hey, clean up your act. You know, these people, they want to. We need a GoFundMe. People really want to keep this place going, especially Jake, because Jake is destroyed for lack of knowledge. So this is the only thing they got.
That's crazy. When we was on, me and the brothers was teaching on Hudson. It was on one bugged out Jake. He said, well, once y'all do something for the community, once you got other brothers out here, I say we ain't here for that. We want the place destroyed. I ain't cleaning up shit.
And I want to say this too.
I told him just like that.
Right. I want to say this too, because a brother, well, I'll read the brother's statement. He said, I got an Amalek fake supervisor. This mother F messes with something on my desk every day, because they don't want to see Jake have a desk, but fuck their desk. We got thrones. It says, turning my keyboard upside down and shit like that. Well, you know what the Spirit told me? It said, woe to thee that offend these little ones.
For real, I get that free, man.
So it's better for a millstone to be hanging around their neck, you know? So at the end of the day, everybody that's messed with us, that owed us money, you know? Hey, you brother, hey, everybody that's messed with us, we're trying to serve the Lord. Isaiah 59, what's that, 15? He that turns to righteousness makes himself a prey. So we're a prey here, because if we walked around like I'll knock your block off, you ain't gonna be touching my shit. Yep. But because we walk around just cool, try to get by, maneuver, you know? Hey, there's certain days where Esau know not to fuck with me that day. Now I'm not like you know, it's just my aura. My aura, leave me the fuck alone today. Yep. You know? But let's keep going.
You want that, Matthew?
Yeah, you get it.
Yep. This is the book of Matthew 18 and verse 6, and it says, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea.
Right. Call it out. Let the brothers get it.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. Yep. I'll speak on it while they get it.
Yep.
18:6.
Yes.
Yep. And this is red letter?
Yes.
Right. So this is the words of Yahweh Shai, you know? And Christians do not have the spirit of Yahweh Shai, man, because they don't go into what Yahweh Shai talks about, you know? I never heard no Christian tell me that.
Or go into Hebrew.
Right. And say, look, if he fuck with you again, God gonna kill his ass.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't they tell me that?
Right.
That's in there, man.
Right.
That's in there.
And that goes, excuse me, that goes for everyone who offended us.
Yeah.
You know, in our personal walk that come up at the camp, on the comment board. Whatever.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
people that may have stole from us.
And that's why when it comes to offenses within the brotherhood, we fix it. Sometimes it could be a misunderstanding, Satan, miscommunication. That's why we handle it in body. And then we're moving on. We're off it. But out here, these people that may offend us, they're not in the spirit of reconciliation.
Right.
They're not trying to reconcile it for the better. And I've learned when you use certain words with these people, it's more impactful. Like you deal with a woman, you say, hey man, that shit offended me. Shit back. Nah, I'm mad. Yeah. No, man, you offended me, man. I didn't mean to offend you. Yeah, well you did. But let's work it out. You know what I mean? But see, the things that we carry ourselves. I remember one time this chick said, "You talk like you're from the medieval times." Oh, but one time this Jake is an Ephraimite. He said, "Man," he said, "What the words you saying, I feel, but I didn't know how to say them." And all I was saying, like, nah, that's just lust, brother. You know what I mean? Like talking to him, but that show you in the spirit there's a connection. You know what I mean? How it's broken down, you feel it. You know? Let's read it again. The brothers are there.
Yep. Matthew 18 and verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones,
Yep.
which believe in me.
Let's go into the word offend. And Matthew's 18:6. Let's just see what they got to say for offense.
Right.
Because I tell you what, man, everything offends me here. You know? You got Dwayne Wade's offspring looking like a female, man.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
I was offended because when I first looked at it, one, I didn't know that was, I thought that was a chick.
Sick. Yeah, me too.
That's what offended me, you know? Then you got Lamar Odom. He's in the teacup
man.
right now.
Yeah,
He was coming out with the Yahweh Shai clothing line, you know, where he was showing a black Jesus,
Wow.
you know? Got it, brother?
The word there in the Greek is scandalizo. Scandalizo, which means to entice to sin.
Wow. So that's why we get offended when you're showing a man as an attractive woman. I'm offended at that.
Yeah.
You know?
Highly offended.
I'm offended of who you got teaching children. I'm offended how you got adulterous women. I'm offended when a woman's walking with her front ass hanging out. You know? I was watching a show last night, and this dude who was a Christian, he wanted to vote this woman out because she was lustful. You know, she's got her bra and panties, and he's like, look, I'm married. I don't want to keep lusting after you. And I know that feeling, you know what I mean? But I get mad at the man too, like, yo, make your woman cover up.
All right.
You know? You making us as men lust. Like, there's times I don't want to look at that, where my spirit is just tired. I want to hear some opera. I want to hear saxophone. You know, I want to play a little chess.
Yeah.
I want to relax. I don't want to be teased.
You want peace.
I want some peace.
That's the point right there, because you're living in the world to where your flesh is seeing this stuff and it wants it, but the spirit is letting you know you can't do it.
Contrary.
You know, it's contrary. You
Paul.
know what I mean? We can't have multiple wives right now.
No, I wouldn't want to.
You want to.
But in the spirit,
Yeah.
we understand why
Yeah.
we can't.
Right.
So I'm cool with that. But we know we could.
But you seeing it.
Right.
Advertising.
Right.
Frustrating.
Which is true.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is true, because there is times where I want, more than one woman.
Right.
Right? But we can't have it.
Right.
Because even if you get more than one, she ain't gonna be on the same page.
Right.
Right.
If we battling Satan and going through things, you add in more problems.
Demons on it.
Biggie said more money, more problems, more women, more trouble,
Right.
more liability. That's the name of the game here.
Right.
And people don't understand that because they're not open. Yahweh Shai, through the Holy Spirit, Yahweh Shai, open us up. And I mean, I don't want to be closed. But now being open, we see. There's things that I see that it's hard to explain sometimes. Like, it's hard sometimes to explain how I can see the devil in vocab. Like, certain things he does, I can see it. That's why, man, he said, I see men as trees walking. Or he said, I open their understanding. There's things that we see that people around you can't see.
And what scripture goes into that heavy is when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation.
Boom!
Yeah. You
Boom.
gotta fight
Matter
that
of
shit
fact, get
left
it.
and right. Like,
Yeah.
You gotta get that.
Yeah, let's get it. You got your apocrypha?
Yeah.
Grab, let's go into it. Malak, you grab it, we'll all read it together. Sirach, the 2nd chapter. And if we went into Sirach, the 2nd chapter, in the GLT, I got something for you, Sirach. I got something for you.
Yeah.
If we go into the GLT, I got it.
Oh yeah.
I got it, matter of fact. So, the elder Yashawamba put us on to this version. Now, of course, did you finish your point?
Yeah.
Did it finish? Okay. So, we had got another translation, because sometimes you go to translations. We're not telling you to use other translation as your foundation. But with all of them, you got to spit the bones out. But there's certain verses in other translations that just,
They hit hard.
they hit.
Yep.
So you read, Ira, you there?
Yup.
Okay, Malak, you read it, and I'm gonna read a little in the GLT version, which basically it's today's English. So how we're speaking is how they rewrote the scripture.
This is Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart, thy mind aright, and constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Now what verse you stopped at?
4.
Watch this. This is Sirach 2 in the GLT. It says, my child, if you are going to serve the Lord, be prepared for times when you will be put to the test. Be sincere and determined. Keep calm when trouble comes. Stay with the Lord. Never abandon him. and you will be prosperous at the end of your days. Accept whatever happens to you, even if you suffer humiliation, be patient.
Yeah.
So this is what it's about.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I want to read it in this. It's verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
See, like being humiliated. I've been humiliated before in the truth. And you know, I don't give a fuck.
And this is key. And be patient. That's what people lack, patience.
Now, what's patience?
Possession of soul.
Suffering.
Suffering. Yeah, suffering.
Because when, right? Are you not suffering when you're being patient? Because it's kind of like a, man, what the fuck? Yeah.
Well, if you're patient,
Excuse me.
in the waiting room, you're just waiting there until they call you to help you, and you're just sitting there suffering.
Right.
We were in the we were in the DMV. Weren't you? Was it you? No, it was Ron. Weren't you with me?
Yeah.
We were in the we were in the DMV, and this Jake came in, and he like, yo, man, what the fuck, man? And he's tripping like,
He's older too.
Yeah.
Older chick, man.
yo, and he got there after us. So we sitting there chilling, we on the phone waiting, we see what's going on. He was saying how we felt, but we was just suffering without saying it. And he's like, man, fuck this. And he left. He left.
Because what happened, you know, of course they got Eve up and there working.
You see y'all sitting there playing and shit, you know?
Really?
Hey, somebody said.
Yeah, then she left and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a whole bunch of people in the room, all Jakes, and it's 2 Jake women conversing in the booths.
Well, it's 3. She's talking over the other woman that's actually working.
Through water.
So it's 1 working and 2 aren't, but they just sitting out here having a full conversation.
It's like y'all sitting there kissing, hugging and shit.
Yeah, real life problems right now. Fucking playing.
Yeah.
But they do that on purpose because when I was sitting in the office here, a new employee was either texting her or something or calling, and she told me, she was like, well, see, when they keep calling like this, they go straight to the voicemail. I ignore them. So the Eve and shit, they be doing that shit on purpose just to fuck with you.
See? And then when me and Kratazar went to the DMV, it was a black woman. It was a black man when me and Marar went. It was a black woman. See, she started bitching and complaining, and then she was there before us, but they wasn't messing with her. Yeah. So our number was about to be called. We had sent prayers up, like, please allow us to get in and out. She was getting skipped. So she peeped, she was getting skipped. She made an uproar, and Esau had to deal with her ass because she couldn't handle the suffering wrongfully.
Yep.
Because see, we also learn patience by suffering wrongfully.
Yeah.
That all these things that we go through, believe it or not, it helps us. Now, ain't nobody gonna say, hey, you know, punch me in the face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna tell you, you know, hey, when I pay my rent, act like I didn't pay it, so I gotta figure out, right?
Yeah.
But when it does happen, we learn within that experience and that tribulation to grow more, you know? And it's all about the servitude.
Can you read that again? I'll
Yeah.
make a point.
Yep.
You want to start from 1 or?
4.
4, okay. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Now, when you go into the word cheerfully, it goes into being optimistic. You gotta be spiritually optimistic in this thing. You know, you might lose your job. You just gotta have that faith and be optimistic and be hopeful that the Lord could give you a better one, man.
Right.
You know, better paying. You might lose your car. Lord give you a mystery check out of nowhere. Buy
Yeah.
a car. You know, you get some money. You help the brothers. Make sure the brothers got what they need.
It's true. The scriptures say hope for good. You gotta, because these people, all they hope for is negative. I've literally witnessed them. They'll buy a lottery ticket and say, I'm just gonna lose. That's what they are. They have a loser mentality here.
Right. Yeah, I had to learn that. I'm gonna look up the definition of optimistic. If you got in the spirit, we are us being out here. We're optimistic. You know, we ain't hopeless like these people.
I'm
We
going
ain't
to finish
lose
this
faith.
off too.
Yep.
And be patient when thou, this is the point, when thou art changed to a lower state.
This is the definition of optimistic. It says hopeful and confident about the future.
You gotta be. It says a man is saved by hope. In Romans 8:24, for what then is a man saved by? Hope. You know, we
And
just
that's the qualities of a good leader, to be a visionary, man. You know, if you're a leader of a squadron, you want to see you and your men make it. No man left behind. You see?
well, even in the folly of sports, what's the spiritual aspect of sports is war.
Yep.
But well, now I'm thinking about Maccabees when he sent the prayer, you know. But even in sports like football, I believe they say it's over 50% chance likelihood of winning with a good stern halftime speech.
There you go.
And there was in particular heavyweight that was being trained by, what was it, Tony Atlas?
But yeah, Tony Atlas.
He was training his heavyweight.
Teddy Atlas.
Teddy Atlas was training his heavyweight, and he was losing. And he pulled out this big ass payphone, you know, back in the day, those gray cell phones. And he said, I think his name was like Mike or something. He was like, here, Michael, here, your son's on the phone. He wants you to tell him why you don't want to be the heavyweight. He said that shit in the middle of the ring, man. He said that in the middle of the fight. He said, tell your son why you don't want to be heavyweight champion of the world. Tell him. And that shit, I'm gonna tell him why I want to be. And then my man, what's my man? Headshot, dead. Leon Edwards. Leo Lion. Leon Edwards. He was his man. He said, "Come on, Leon. Come on, stop it. Give it everything. Stop. Let it go." He kept telling him, "Let it go." And finally, the last effing round, fake right, headshot, dead. Took his ass out, won the championship at 4:14. The timestamp of the knockout for him to become world champ was 4:14. He said, I came from a shack. I came from nothing. Look at me. And that's us. That's us being optimistic. You got it, bro.
It says, disposed to take the most hopeful view of a matter, no matter what it is. Look on the bright side of it, man.
Yep.
No matter what it is. You know, that's something I had to learn.
Yep. And now that makes me think of, can we grab Matthew 12 and 36? Because when you're optimistic, that's your mindset. And with your mindset comes the talk, right? So that's why they talk about speaking to existence.
Yeah. Well, in this generation, they call it manifesting. But us being spiritual men of the Lord, we speaking into existence.
Yep. Because that's what we are. They spoke the world into existence. They spoke creation. So this is why Yahweh Shai said this, Matthew 12 and 36.
This is Matthew chapter 12.
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 12.
Yep. And verse 36. These are the building blocks, you know, because my spirit, I wanna go into prophecy, but what the spirit is having us is exhorting ourselves with the mindset we're gonna have in prophecy. Because we gotta talk about that movie. You see it?
Yeah.
Yo.
We got
Man. All right, we about to change gears.
All right. Well, I'll have one another preach.
Okay. All right. So we've been about an hour in exhortation. So we can go into prophecy, an hour prophecy. You know?
This is Matthew 12 and 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment.
See? So you want your words, when you meet your maker, you want the words that are spread across the board to be, call Allah Yahweh Shem Shai. The Lord is with me. My God is Yahweh. I trust you, Yahweh Shem Shai. You'll deliver me, Yahweh Shem Shai. Please help me. Those are what we want spread as a testimony laid before the Father in that day, while the others will be blasphemy.
And another thing you have to do, you have to rebuke your carnal thoughts, because Satan will put shit in your head, you know, whether it be to throw your faith off about the Lord or about brothers or about whatever. You just gotta rebuke that shit, man.
Oh, I'll say it. I'll tell them. I said that's an evil thought.
Yeah, man. That's an
I'll
evil thought.
say that's an evil thought from Satan. You know, I'll tell on his ass. I'll let the record show that I am conscious that it wasn't me.
Right.
All right, Shaggy ain't the only one. It ain't me. You know?
Right, because a lot of shit that come in your mind, how the fuck, I don't want to think about
Always.
this. But you know, so, like I was watching Apostle Recall's videos saying stay strong. He was saying how a lot of brothers, they go through the battle mentally. You know, when just Satan is just constantly working on your mind, you know, making you think you ain't worthy.
Yep.
You're not a man of the Lord. You ain't good
That's why I
enough.
be going through lately.
Yeah. Well, because you're serving the Lord. See?
Making you think you're not a brother, that brothers don't like you.
Yep.
You know, all type of stuff.
Yep.
But that goes into that video you sent me from the camp leader in Kansas
City.
City. He was going into how, his faith would get weary and, he starting to second guess himself and stuff. But, the brother's doing an awesome job, man. He's been pushing for a while. I've been watching him for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, those are great brothers
Yep.
out there.
Yep.
Strong.
Great, strong brothers. But one thing you learn in this truth is you have to go through things to be shown your strength.
Well, you might pray for wisdom, but how you gonna know you have it unless the Lord puts you in a situation where you got to apply it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you might pray for integrity. Well, Lord won't put you in a situation that you have to show
Show
Lord
integrity.
your integrity.
Yep.
You might have to take the load. You
Yep.
might have to suffer wrongfully. That's showing integrity.
Yep.
You see, these people of America, they have no integrity.
Fuck no.
They have no patience. You
No.
might pray for patience, Lord might put you in a situation, okay, now you have to apply the patience.
But then what's so beautiful is the Spirit makes intercessions like in Romans 8 in our groaning, and then the scriptures will come to your mind. You know? Scripture will come to your mind and it'll tell you. That's how we know it's not of us. You know, I've countless times, like a situation will happen, and then the Lord will put a scripture in my head. I say, oh, the water.
Right,
Thank
it
you.
just smacks it.
Yep, smacks it out the way. Yep. So you had one more?
Yeah, Proverbs.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get that. And then I want to
you
get
see how dope, you see how complex the Lord is?
Yeah.
He can have you built up but still keep you humble.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
That's the best thing. The best thing going is to be humbly built up.
Right.
That's the
It's lucky, but that's the goal for
Yes.
all Israelite men. You know, because even going back to the time of Solomon, when Bathsheba went to visit him, you know, every man she saw was in such of a the way they carried themselves. She thought that was the king.
Right.
That goes to show you how King Solomon carried himself and his men and his kingdom.
As is the king, so is the people.
She didn't know who was the leader.
Yep.
My
They
God,
always
look at
on
that.
such a
Tell
level.
Yehudi.
Yep.
But that's how it's going to be in the kingdom.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
This is Proverbs 18 and verse 16.
Yep. Proverbs 18 and 16.
Actually 20. Proverbs 18 and 20. I'll get right to the point.
Well, that's the spirit right there. Talking about wisdom, you just had three,
Yehudi.
you know, three Edomites.
We're in the time.
Yeah, we've done that before. But those three Amaleks that walked by, and we just applied wisdom. What we gonna say to them? What we gonna say to them three young men? They don't know. They don't know. Now, if it was Rothschild, you know, now you know, you brothers know what I mean. What we gonna say to them? But someone that wants entertainment would want them. Man, we here for edification. You know, you want to fucking, excuse me, but you know, brothers know me, man. But you want to come on these channels to just get entertained by brothers' blood, sweat, and tears? You're foul, man. Now, is there times where something come out that may be comical? Or yeah, that's all a part of the spirit. But if you're coming just for that aspect, you're in the wrong position. Because you gonna laugh your ass into a concentration camp. Concentrate on that.
This is Proverbs 18 and 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue,
Man, I know that.
and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
Hey, a lot of times in the walk, it's things I said that I sit back like, damn. You know what I mean? So you got to learn to rule it. And it's two sides. Some of you brothers don't talk this time. You got to speak your ass up.
Yeah,
You got to say something.
you gotta speak into existence.
Especially though too, if you're in a leadership position. Because what we're building is order. So whether you like it or not, there's a ranking order. So something could be brought to the head, then it's up to the head to like, all right, that's solidified. So there's times where you got to learn to, embrace and cease from embracing.
Speak and not to speak.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. It's all the season, you know? So now the Lord got us in the season where we're anxious to speak of exhortation and ultimately prophecy. All right? So anybody's got any prophetic scriptures we can start off with? We're going to change gears, as Elder Pastor Hart says.
Oh yeah, but I just wanted to bring up an example real quick. A recent example of that scripture is that guy T. Grizzly. The nigga made a song called
Robbery.
Then a couple of days later, his house got robbed.
Yep.
Oh shit.
He's speaking. He's
Yep.
speaking that evil, and he's reaping that, man. We're speaking that life and good.
Yep. Well, that's heavy because a lot of Jakes are in the mindset like Cedric, where Cedric Entertainer, he said, we wish a motherfucker would, right? But the problem is, you're gonna get that. Oh, you brothers ever see the movie Wishmaster?
Yeah.
Remember he said, "Is that your wish?" Yep. And they're like, "Hell yeah!" And the Edomite was like, "You gotta walk through me." And he said, "Is that your wish?" He turned his ass into a glass door and walked through his ass.
Damn.
So you gotta watch what you wishing for.
Damn.
You gotta watch what you ask for.
You gotta watch. Thank you. You gotta watch what you ask for, man.
But they acting on shock like when you see a P&B Rock get murdered for his chain. He asked for that.
Literally.
How are you in the lion's den with $1 million worth of jewelry and then think ain't shit gonna happen
And
to
what
you,
a-
bro?
You know what? That goes back to the curses that I shall be evil toward thy brother.
Right.
Pretty much.
With a woman.
But
Shit, it
he's
could have been.
speaking these evils up by rapping.
It could have been a CIA agent in blackface.
They had a life insurance policy on that nigga. They wanted to cash up.
Yeah, the Roman Empire. He was signed to the Roman Empire
Labor killed him. I mean, they can't even find him. They can't even, you know what I'm saying?
because he signed a covenant with death in Isaiah. You know, we're in these times now, according to prophecy, where judgment is coming down, man. Things are increasing all across the board. You know
what I noticed? The Lord is turning us up too. Like the Lord's perfect balance. You gotta think evils and judgments are increasing in the world. So mercy, righteousness, hope, faith, these things are going to increase amongst the body.
exactly,
Miracles.
exactly.
Because we're in a time where the Lord, you know, is going to have to call for miracles, man.
Well, we're in that time because that happened in the priesthood of Aaron with the reeds. Everybody had a rod, and he was like, "Look, tomorrow I'm gonna show you who I'm dealing with." And Aaron rod butted. Like now, you got men claiming that we don't have the truth, and they're gonna heal on camera, and all this just weird ass dry paint doctrine. Like you just sit there, kind of like, you know, it's kind of pretty much like that. So the Lord is gonna solidify who He's dealing with. Oh, you got now people in the world talking about Nate, saying like they found out he's a cop. Did you brother see that?
Yeah, that's
But no, but the people didn't know that.
Yeah.
People in the world that know about they didn't know about that. You got people on TikTok saying, "Did y'all know the Hebrew Israelite leader of IUIC was a NYC detective?"
Oh, wow.
They're bringing out records on him. That's a in the world of Jake. That's a informant.
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no. That's an agent. That's agent material. You see, when you find out someone you chilling with used to be a cop, no matter what you're involved in the world, you're gonna look at him funny.
You know, Cop J. Reed, you a sellout.
You're gonna look at him funny.
Right.
Yep.
You see?
But can I say this too? One of the key faith boosters brothers should have, as far as a miracle goal, or letting you know that the Lord is with us, is the chariots, man.
Mm-hmm.
The chariot sightings is at an all-time high. The government don't even know what they are, but we do.
You know, that's
Let's
a
get
great
the prophecy.
It's like a,
No, you got it.
That's a
Signs
great
in the
point,
sky,
but I
yeah.
just want to add the fact that we're here right now is a miracle.
Yep, I was
Right,
thinking that.
right.
You know, praise Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the small and the big.
Yep.
Because
Right.
waking up is a miracle.
Yep.
You could wake up dead.
Which, hey, Malak, I remember you had said that a few years ago about you were thankful for waking up in the right mind.
Yeah, my mom used to say that.
And that always stuck with me. Like I said that today. I was heading to get the bro, and I was sitting there and I thanked the Lord. I said, "Man, thank you for waking me up in the right spirit.
Right.
That I'm happy. My mind's already like, look, we going to camp. You brothers know me. We got to do this. We got to do it. My mind's strictly for this. But that's the Lord. So I'm thankful that that's first thought.
Right.
You know, prophecy, scriptures. Those are miracles.
Yeah.
We're in the flesh. We're in something that is a punishment, and we thinking about heavenly things.
Right. Satan tries to hop on you and make you ungrateful. Man. You got to praise the Lord for everything.
Yeah.
Right.
You got a roof over your head. You got shoes. You
Yeah.
got clothing. You
But
got to
that's
be grateful.
chastisement.
Prophecy.
He
Prophecies happen.
chastises whom he loves.
Yep.
So-
Let's Luke 21.
Yep.
Let's read. We can start at where are you at? Yeah, but if you could start, man, just start at
I got
start
the,
at 19.
synopsis of
Oh, yeah.
Atlantic.
19.
Of what? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, read a little of that. We're gonna go into that, and we may not even use that word
Okay.
because we're on the hush right now. So we're gonna say the charagma.
Well, the bite from the dragon.
Yeah, the bite from the
Yeah, I
dragon
like that.
in the hour of para.
Right.
All right, how about that? All right, because that's the Holy Spirit. We speaking in tongues. All right, so read this.
Digital tattoos.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
There
Yeah.
you go.
This is the book of Luke.
And he about to turn you into some digital dummies. How about that?
For real.
Turn your ass into a
He gonna turn you into airplane mode.
This is Luke 21 and verse 19.
Yep, let the brothers get it.
Luke 21 and verse 19.
Prophetic times we're in, brothers. Beautiful times we're in. The elect, the house of David being raised up, man. These are things you actually have to tell yourself. You have to. You can't rely on your flesh to remind you of spiritual things. You have to tell yourself, because that's your spirit talking past your flesh.
I know there's a lot of weddings going on since we've
Days of
been.
Noah.
Oh, look at that. Yep, the days of Noah. See? Because they're in the flesh.
It seems like they follow us from over there.
Yep.
Over here.
Yep. Yeah.
When we were on Maine, they was doing weddings, then wedding here, then wedding here. You know, days of Noah, baby, and the days of Lot. You see? Can you brothers see it's the days of Lot?
Hell fucking
Woo!
yes.
So call off
Call money by small shot.
prophecy.
Luke 21 and verse 19. It says, "And your patience
possess ye your souls. And when he shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies,
Yep.
then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
What's this talking about? Read it again from a lot.
Yep.
And 70 AD.
Yep. But now, yes and no. When did it start? When did the so-called Jewish-Roman War start?
The exact date,
Yeah, year.
the year.
Yeah. 66.
Oh, okay.
Right?
66 AD.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
66 to 70 AD. That's what this is specifically talking about. But we're coming into a time where Jerusalem gonna get compassed again.
But why though? Because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place.
Place. Yep.
So this is the actual Jerusalem
Yep.
in 70 AD.
Yep.
But now he over here in America dealing with Israel.
Yep. Which this prophecy ultimately led to the great diaspora, smiting the shepherd, because at that time, even though Yahweh Shai is our shepherd, the temple was. That's where Jake went, to the temple. That's why during the Christian Crusades, they were going back to the temple,
Solomon's temple.
Solomon's temple. See? So let's keep going.
Verse 21, and it says, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains,
Yep.
and let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
Now, this is Yahweh Shai warning us, because he said, he that has ears, let him hear what is spoken about in Daniel.
Right.
So this was only told to his men because do you know who didn't flee and stayed in the temple to fight? Yep. Sakari.
Yep.
Eleazar said, hell no. No, it was Eleazar.
That's the name.
He said, hell no.
Oh, you know. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Josephus.
Yeah. He was like, fuck that. You know, they was riding. But the Roman army, it was the Lord was with them.
Yep.
Now when you read in the Septuagint, what do I got? The Josephus. When you read in Josephus, how they ultimately got into the temple to besiege it is they were burning the wood that was surrounded it, that they built around it, and they tried to burn it, and they said a great wind pulled the fire away and then threw it back on it. So even the Romans agreed that it was basically a miracle how the walls got burnt down. So that proves the Lord did that. And it was so bad that Eleazar, he made a decree that they should kill all the women and children. So Esau couldn't get them. But that's murder.
That's murder.
That's murder.
Your own people.
That's murder. But look what happens when you didn't listen to Yahweh Shai. You had a point, brother?
Yeah, this is 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 40.
16 and 40.
2nd Esdras 16, verse 40.
What page for Malak?
Apocrypha page 35.
There you go.
It reads, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle,
Woo!
and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Right. And my man Robert De Niro, he told damn, I can't remember his name. What the hell is his name? In the movie Heat.
Val Kimmer?
Thank you.
Yep.
You brother seen Heat, the movie Heat? Well, Robert De Niro told Val Kilmer, I think it was 30 seconds, right?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
He told him, he said, you remember such and such? He said, you gotta be, he said, whatever's surrounded by you, if you're not willing to leave it in 30 seconds or less, you're dead.
Yep.
Right.
So at any moment, you gotta be ready to leave, man.
Detached.
You gotta be detached now. You know?
But that's the spirit of Lot.
Yep.
You know, the Lord took him.
Yep. Because nobody's up here saying we don't want our loved ones, our women, our children, we don't want them to be judged. But we have faith that our works, they'll be delivered, even if they're not in our physical sight.
Where in reality, shit might pop off, you might not be with them. So you have to rely on faith.
Yeah.
Like I remember I had a dream, I was out on one of my routes and shit popped off. I had to hide in the abandoned house. I had to put someone down, you know?
Yep. These,
know how
yeah.
that happened.
Well, you got to think, because that's why he said he's on the housetop, and this was specifically then, but it's also a mindset you got to think, because remember, if you were on the housetop, the prophecy that comes to mind to me is he shall go into a city and not be able to, because he like, oh, I gotta, and then you just see it all locked down. You know, in the movie Red Dawn, they locked that small city down. You know, they lock shit down quick. They could look the movie Containment. They locked it down. They could lock a Walmart down.
Easy.
Just like that. You know?
This movie Contagion with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
He said we could lock this bitch down in like 72 hours.
Well, the movie Siege, he said we could do it in 16.
Okay.
Bruce Willis said,
I remember, yeah, I seen
he
that.
said we can lock it down in 16 hours.
Damn.
Ain't no rights.
Back in Luke 21 and verse 21. Luke 21 and verse 21, and it says, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
Right, literal Judea.
And let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
Yeah, that's why you had Jake. They went to Africa, from Babylon and Timbuktu, Asia Minor, Elam, went everywhere.
Yeah.
They spread everywhere. The believers, that's what we have to understand and pull out of this. The believers spread across the board when the carnal and those that didn't believe, they stayed. They stayed. That's why they accused Yahushua of destroying the temple in 3 days, because they were offended. They didn't know prophecy. They didn't understand that prophecy said that Yahushua was the temple, and then they also didn't know that in the last the end of the days of us in Israel would be scattered from a war.
They also didn't understand that the priesthood was set up as a foreshadowing of a greater priesthood after Melchizedek, which was to come.
Right. The Levitical priesthood was set up as a shadow, because the priesthood is us as our existence.
Right.
We are our priesthood, but they didn't know the Levitical priesthood was set up as a shadowing for the priesthood for the Israelite men under the Melchizedek.
They weren't spiritual.
No.
If they knew prophecy, they would have knew that the temple had to be destroyed, we had to be scattered, and they would have left.
You know what proves that we're on a spiritual, look, sound like El Pastor. You know what proves that we're on a spiritual level now as Israelites compared to Israelites in the wilderness? You want to know what proves that? Well, you brothers don't need to read the tablets to know what laws to live by.
Right.
Right? Y'all don't need to wear fringes to know not to do this, right? So that proves that the Lord is putting us on a level, because they clearly weren't on a level. If he had to put, don't do that at every garment, you know, that proves that the Lord's got to put you on a certain level to remember things, you know?
Yeah, pretty much what the Lord did was he upgraded our nation, man.
Right.
You know, being that perfect sacrifice, going directly to Yahweh, all right, acting as our high priest.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And then Babylon, what are you gonna say, brother?
Just like we just read about how the believers fled to the mountains, to like Africa, Asia Minor, but we believed in the prophecy, and the non-believers did, just like today.
Yeah.
A lot of our people's gonna get caught in those concentration camps and getting killed and getting chipped up because they didn't believe what
Exactly.
the prophets were saying.
Right. Like, look how many people that believe in being a Hebrew Israelite, but they're still with Sinetta.
Yeah.
You going nowhere?
Yeah.
You just another one on you just another lost soul on Mars Hill.
Yeah.
You brothers know about Mars Hill, right?
Nah.
That's in the Acts, where they would go and they had the unknown God, and everybody came up sipping and talking and drinking and singing.
Even these song camps, they know they Israel, they got fringes. They gonna get chipped up because they saving the mark of beast.
Exactly. But a lot of them sold out too.
Yeah.
Well, they're shepherd at least, and then they're just blind following the blind. A lot of them. I could think of a couple camps right
General
now.
Gahana recently with that whole,
Yep.
that serpent's drink.
Yep. Keep going.
Yep. Back in Luke 21 and verse 21.
Well, you know, real quick, a fun fact: you can't say much about the I through PK because they'll take your video down. So it's kind of funny, out of the camps that you made correct, they're one of the ones where they'll snip your shit and you correct them. So that go to show you they're plugged in.
It's kind of fishy
You know?
to me. And it says, verse 21, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
See, so we can use this example, what happened in the past, according to prophecy today, 2nd Ezra 16, they shall go to a city and not be able to. Read it again. That's get it. We'll parallel, because this is back then, and we're talking about the prophecy for now. So that proves this is the spirit of Yahushua testimony, is the spirit of prophecy. Yahushua is telling us this when this happened. Now in the spirit, we're telling the prophecy today.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yep. Luke 21 and verse 21, reading the last part, and it says, and let not them that are in the countries enter into.
Yep.
That was it.
And read this.
This is 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 17, page 33 in the Apocrypha. 2nd Esdras 15, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
There you go. See? In a larger aspect, ultimately, is what it's told in Revelations, the 10 cities, the 10 FEMA regions. Because it's going to have to. When this third war breaks out and the calamities within, that's going to be the government. Oh, I mean, not talk about that.
Right.
Right. Clip the video. Because this was democracy.
Came with a word.
You know, but when it comes down, Esau and his standing power, that's going to be their attempt to have gain over the people.
You know what I noticed? The world, pretty much is prophecy, but the world economies are collapsing. Pastor Tahar just did a video on the pound, which is the currency over there in the UK.
Yeah.
You got thousands of troops on the streets of London. Now, London is pretty much the financial capital of all this shit, man. So if their shit going down, do you know what's happening next?
Right.
Well, they got something called the rainbow dollar. You brothers heard of that yet?
No.
Look that up. I'll just leave it. I'll leave it there. Look it up. Look that up.
Rainbow.
Yeah. Not now. I'm saying off camera. We'll talk about that later.
There's gonna be a lot of Sarahs out there.
Right.
Damn.
Gonna be a lot of what?
Sarahs.
Well,
Oh, okay.
in the movie.
Yeah.
The movie,
Yeah.
the Karagma movie.
That's a great
Have y'all
movie.
seen that yet? Implanted?
I saw you had.
I seen
videos.
Did you watch it?
I watched it. I gotta watch it again. I kind of fell asleep.
Oh, brother! You got hey, it says those that sleep. No, I'm just fucking with you.
What is
Hey,
it, Tubi?
yes, bro. It's a watch.
Tubi's a good. Yeah.
I'll watch it with you, bro. It's fire. I want to say for a B-list movie, put together very well.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It shows you the personal aspect of what's going to happen to them when they consent. That's why it says they'll be had in derision.
I get that.
I didn't think the movie was gonna last that long, but hey, it went,
It was
hit a lot of points.
fire.
I could read that if you want.
Yeah. Just use
Cool.
subtlety.
This the pretty much the synopsis of the Sarah movie.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Yep.
Because Sarah represent Israel.
Princess.
Yep.
Sarah, a struggling young woman living in Brooklyn.
Today, do not people today use their body to make money? You got to use your body to get what you want.
OnlyFans.
Yep. So if they're doing that, they're also doing it for, they do things, they take stuff from you and they give you money for it, right? Keep going.
Agrees to volunteer
See?
as an experimental test subject for a pharmaceutical company called Dynamic Healthcare, which reminds me of who? And to be bitten by the Lex.
It's a program. Y'all know what Lex means? It's an acronym, but do you know what the actual name Lex means? It means a defender of mankind. So he's going to use this for a defense. This is why it's going to be idolized. This is what makes it your last example of complete anti-Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Idolatry.
I thank you. You have to understand the aspect of idolatry when it comes to this prophecy. That is your last ritual to bow down.
Yeah.
You see? Bowing down to this. That will be your act of saying, I don't need you, I need this. That's why woe to you that go to Egypt for help. And this is what he's going to give you to help you. And the mercy of the wicked is cruel.
Yep. Hey.
He's coming here to help you.
Isaiah 36:6. He trusted the staff of Egypt. He pricked their hands.
There you go.
Boom.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Sarah hopes that the money received for her participation.
See? Oh, the money. See?
Yep.
Everybody has a price.
Right.
Yep.
All right?
Well,
Turn her ass into a Cash App hotspot.
Sarah hopes that the
Damn.
money received for her participation will solve her financial troubles and take care of her mother who has Alzheimer's.
Look, see, mother right there. See? People like that. But guess what? The money that she was going to get, they never gave her. You know? And people are going through that now with the economic crisis. I mean, I say that.
Right.
A bite from the dragon is put inside her cerebral cortex.
Damn.
And you know what it showed you? Rev 16:2, a grievous sore on her
Yep.
back. You know,
Which ultimately that sore will be through like cancer,
the C word.
Yep. But what the brother is saying, we can see it in the spirit. Basically a side effect.
Yeah,
That's what you're seeing. When they show you people that take these things in the movies, there's always a side effect. There was a side effect. She had it looked like somebody Sparta kicked her back. It was big ass bruise with a little ass 6 sticker holding her spine together. That shit look crazy.
Like that one Jake lady, remember like a few years
Yup,
back?
the black woman.
Yeah, she got that, you know, that C hip, the like vibration, she felt it.
See? So they've been doing those experiments.
It is designed with AI technology to take control of the body at the inception of any illness.
That's possession. It said control the body, that's a possession. So he's gonna possess you carnally.
That's
Digital demon.
yeah.
No, you got it.
When the bite turns sinister and orders her to commit crimes, Sarah is plunged into a murderous spiral with only one choice: to live or perish.
This bitch she said, can I see my mother? Negative. And then when she murdered somebody, she said, now you can see your mother for 3 minutes.
Oh, you can see her, all right?
You know, it kind of sound like that movie Upgrade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That thing on the
Exactly.
road.
Well, yeah, it's like the female version of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they showed you that when you consent, what it's gonna do ultimately have complete control over you. It's because you now have given yourself over.
You know what else I noticed about that movie? They actually had to go there and physically consent, as the brother said, but it was a conscious choice that they made. Like they literally signed their life away.
He said it. He said, "Did you read? Do you read and accept the terms?" And Jake will be like this. And they always showed Jake. The first one was a Jake. Then when they showed the trial of people volunteer, all Jakes, and he said, the Edomite said, "Do you agree?" He said, yeah. And that's dumbass Jake today. Jake, who's the number one person that you'll say something to, and they don't know what the hell you talking about, and they're like, yeah. I'll be like, hey Jake, man, you know you started Earth, you know the principle. Oh, that's a fact. He don't know shit.
For real.
But he'll just be all with it. That's a fact. That's Jake. And that's what they were doing. But this time you got the consent.
Yeah.
The consent scripture. When they consent, we should look that word up. What consent means? They literally show you it's got to be a conscious decision. And anybody who Esau does that too secretly, that the Lord judged you for it. Then.
Yeah.
The Lord did that. But ultimately, it's going to be a test where some of our lot is Esau going to literally ask us, like when you think about how you feel right at this moment, how you brothers feel right, can you fucking imagine an Edomite asking you that right now? It reminds me of the Batman Robin comic. Like,
right.
no, fuck no. I'm not saying we're gonna do that, but how you feel? Yeah. You fuck no.
Can I read this?
Yeah.
This is the definition of consent and the etymology. It says to agree, to give consent, to comply, literally to feel together.
To comply. He's gonna ask you, do you comply? You see? And you know who does that now when people have no idea? Police. They'll be like, can I have your license? But he's still asking you. And then you say, yes. So you're consenting because you don't have, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me not get in politically, you know. But let's go to this, stick on the point.
Second Esdras 16 and verse, I start verse 68 and verse 35 of the Apocrypha.
And I love talking about this in particular prophecy because it's going to happen on a level of reality. You know, it's going to happen in a community sense. It's going to happen in a day-to-day basis sense. Yeah. You know, because like threats of war, rumors of war right now, that's all foreign. But these things is going to affect the everyday living. You know, jobs, money, all that. It's going to affect all that. And it's everything. It's going to affect the daily routine. And people trying to keep up the daily routine are just going to jump on board. Because what great example, what has just came to pass, that by the king of Babylon, he said that it's over. Y'all seen that? Well, when they said it was in, they forced everyone to do certain things. Yep. So at any moment, this dragon system, this draconian system, at any moment can say, now this. Yep. And you got to do that. And they showed you that in the movie Dark Hour. Darkest Hour, which is on Tubi. Yep. And he said, look, I had to do this to stay in business. I can't accept that anymore. Then the dude walked in, he wanted some cigarettes, pushed her aside, he stood there, he said, and scanned his head.
That's on there too?
Yeah, I did a lesson on that one too.
Annihilation.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Darkest Hour.
Yeah, Darkest Hour, Annihilation. Thank you, brother.
I think I've seen that on.
Fire movie. Fire. Yep. keep going.
Second Esdras 16 and verse 68.
Hold on.
Another thing about that movie is that when the AI had her doing something, if she wouldn't fully comply, there was another man following her ass.
Yep.
Making her do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, at any moment, it could immobilize her,
Yeah. Yep.
put her through extreme pain. Now you do not have control over your body, because that's what he wants at the end, the complete control. The new order that he wants to establish is to solidify himself as God on earth. That's what he wants to do, right? When you look at it in its entirety, this is what the Edomite said. Schwab, Carl,
Klaus.
Klaus Schwab. This is which Klaus means victory. He said this is what he mean when he said you will own nothing and like it. That's what he's talking about. Where when that order comes down, you will just be appreciative that you got a ration today.
Yep.
So then ultimately, like you said, he's trying to be the God of this world.
Yes.
So he's trying to take away your free will.
If you will.
Like the Most High. We don't have, we think
Exactly.
we have free will.
Exactly.
But we don't.
Exactly. Right. So he'll know everything. Oh, it's your carbon footprint. That's, what he, that's how he said it.
Footprint tracker.
Yeah. Just, you know what I mean? Like he's just selling you a burger. Remember the one nigga, he was eating a burger? That was the most creepiest shit I seen in my existence. De Blasio.
Yeah.
He was eating a burger, and you could hear the crunch and shit. The mic was all extra, and he was like, and then you'll get this limited edition comic book. Like, fuck out of here, bro. Like, man's falling for that. If you falling for that, bro, don't come in my house.
Come on, man.
Don't come around me. Go that way. You know? But it's really happening. It's really, we're really witnessing it. Everything that's going on is really, when it finally is fulfilled, we're gonna look back and see the building. We're witnessing the building blocks.
Right. Second Esdras 16 and verse 68. And it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you.
Yep, and it says they shall take away certain of you. That's why in 2 Esdras 5 it says you should be taken in a great number. These are tokens. There's going to be many tokens how people are just taken in great number, all right, through different prophecies. And one in particular one is through the charagma in the hour of Pera. All right, keep going. Yeah, we speak Greek up here through the Holy Spirit. You know, I didn't even graduate high school, you know?
For real, though.
I went to college though. See, only Jake. I didn't graduate high school, but I still went to college. Supplanted my ass up in there. That reminds me of this Jake. He was homeless. He supplanted his way into a Cleveland Browns training camp, and they signed his ass.
Wow.
Only Jake, bro. Like Willie Mays Hayes in Major League.
I think they said that for the Bills. Something they said if you can play football or something, just come down, try out.
Right.
They're like, yeah, they need.
See?
Babylon is desperate.
Yeah.
They taking anybody.
Yeah. Exactly. Jake's going across seas to throw a ball into a circle.
Yep.
You know, I mean that's really what it is at the end of the day. It's dynamic, but really it's just you just throwing a ball in a circle. You know. But let's get back to the point.
Verse 68, and it says, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you.
See, when you hear these, immediately scripture should be coming to mind. They shall take you. Jeremiah 30 and 7. That is what the Jacob's trouble. Revelations 2. Cast you. Well, let's get that. Cast you into prison. Okay, you got some cool. You got some cool, clean cut Jakes that ain't been doing no wrong. That's gonna find their ass in prison. Whether you like it or not. You got that first real quick? You want to read that?
2 and 10.
Yeah, I believe it's 2 and 10, right? Cast you into prison? See, that's why it says here a little and there a little. We can explain it, but why not explain what the scriptures lays out? We gotta show you the puzzle pieces. We can talk about the picture, but we gotta get the pieces. Those are niggas that Sonny beat up in the bar. Brock said.
Revelation 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil.
Now, real quick, what comes to mind? Fear none of those things. Yahushua said, fear not them which can kill body. See, precepts are, you'll hear them, When you hear that's the Holy Spirit. It's giving us more. You could go deep with these scriptures.
Living water.
It's living water.
It says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison,
Yeah, Esau.
that ye may be tried.
Yeah.
And ye shall receive tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death.
Yeah, 10 meaning a period of time. You know, so don't put, the tally marks on the wall and you go, number 10. And you're looking like, where you at? Hey, because the Lord could get you out in the day.
Yep.
Don't limit yourself. We can't limit
Or
ourselves.
night.
Peter was taking it. They put Peter in, and the next morning he was
Yep.
I'm preaching.
I'm meditating on some of that too.
good, brother. Yeah.
Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Right, meaning what? That he that loses his life for my sake shall find it. And that's when you're going to have that Apostle Paul moment. I've done everything. I went to camp. I prayed. I rebuked Satan. Because Satan could even is going to try to tempt you in the last days too. And don't let your sins weigh upon you.
That's right.
Nah, man, Yahushua forgave me.
Right.
I didn't want to do that. And some of the times you've fallen was just a part of your testimony. So don't allow what was a part of your testimony, of your building blocks to who you are now, to be your detriment and downfall later. We're under grace. So how dare you try to use that against me? I got to sacrifice. You got to say those things.
But see, but that's what this society does to you. Anytime Jake get into like the penal system, you got like a criminal record, they hold that shit over.
Oh, yeah.
You can
Yeah.
never fucking
No
really
mercy.
no mercy.
That's a good point.
No.
Yeah, that's a good point. See? You got it, bro.
Yeah. This is Revelation 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
Well, it's going to be fearful to people. It's going to look fearful. Brothers have had dreams. I've had dreams about when Esau comes in, he's going to come in real tactical.
Yeah. Yep.
He's going to come in a different way, to where that's why Yahushua said, like, y'all coming at me like damn, I ain't Quando Rondo with a number 9, like with a Zuka.
Right.
I might ate some bazooka gum, but damn, right though, like damn, dude, like you coming at me, but that's how it's gonna be.
You seen that dream? Seen that?
Yes.
brother, I seen
Kanak,
that.
yeah, it's a good brother.
Coming at just like you fucking Osama.
Right. So, but we understand that.
In turn, we are though.
Yes, in turn, we are the biggest threat.
Yeah.
We are the biggest threat. That's why, and see, that's spirit. I wanted to go into this. That's why, with the time of Babylon, Daniel, you had those demons. They're like, look, Daniel, he not bowing, And then an even better one. Y'all brothers know Haman, the Amalekite. You know that nigga, that nigger.
Capital A.
Yeah, man. Yo, I read Esther over the week. It's only 10 chapters. You brothers out there, read Esther, man. That was fire. You brothers familiar with the story?
Yeah, I've read it a few times.
Good. Yo. And I said, after I closed it, I said, vocab gotta be Haman. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he is, but he's coming in that spirit.
Right.
Because Haman, like vocab, surrounded himself by Jakes, and his main focus was Jakes, and in particular certain Jakes. And in his ass, the pit that he dug from my man Mordecai the Benjamite, his ass had to go out that same way. He built a 75-foot gallows that he wanted to hang Mordecai in. The same man that saved King Xerxes' life, mind you. And it was fire how it played out because the King Xerxes couldn't sleep. So he had his servants like, read me some records. They happened to read across the record of Mordecai saving the king's life. And he said, have we ever recompensed this man? He said, no. He said, tomorrow we're going to recompense this man. Haman, the same night as they were reading about Mordecai, he was meditating murdering Mordecai. So he woke up and was walking to the king's palace. I'm about to kill me a nigga, right? He like, I'm about to get him, right? You know how Esau is. He woke. He don't need an alarm.
He don't.
If Esau knows he's gonna kill Jake tomorrow, he don't need an alarm. Hatred's gonna wake him up.
2 a.m.
He gonna right.
Up all
He
day.
said 4 a.m. I'm just getting started. So he woke up and he went right to the king's courtyard, and then the king was like, bring me in a servant. They said the only servant in the king's courtyard is Haman. So Haman's walking in to ask permission to be able to kill Mordecai. And the king stops Haman before his request and says, what would you do to show honor to a man that I want to be praised? And in Haman's pride, he thought the king was speaking about him. So he laid everything out he'd want to be done. I want the best robe. I want to be brought around all the people. I want to travel. I want all this. So he said, do all that to Mordecai. His nigga face said, ah! His whole shit, the little anime thing.
The red mark.
How could this be? Esau bitch ass. So then Esau had to go do that to Mordecai, and then he ran home in embarrassment. Mad as shit. Now he's like, I gotta figure out another way how to kill Mordecai. But then, in between time, Esther and Mordecai did a 3-day fast. So they set up a banquet for the king and Haman. And as they were having the banquet, this is the second night in a row, the king Xerxes, he was let off that liquor. You know, there's a different kind of merriness when you got money, bills is paid, got a woman next to you. Hey, you feeling like you in my quarters tonight, right? Right. So he was like, look, girl, whatever you want, you can have it. Even half of my empire. He told her that twice. She said, well, if your majesty be, it would be that you spare me and my people. We're about to be exterminated. And he said, what? By who? And she said, this evil man, Haman. And she pointed his ass out, and this nigga terror filled his body. He said, because you trying to kill the king's queen's people. Right. So he said, what? And he got up in disbelief, and he walked out. He walked out the room. He was in his garden. And then as that happened, instead of Haman following the king to beg for mercy, he stayed and dropped at the queen's like lap on the couch. Like, please, no, touching the queen.
That man's property.
So the king came in, he said, does this man attempt to rape my wife in front of me, even in my own palace? Get this nigga. And he grabbed him, his men took him, bow. They put a bag over his head. And as they yoked him up, one of the servants, which I gotta read, I think it was a Jake, but he said, and he was planning on killing Mordecai that saved you by hanging him. He said, what? Hang his ass.
Yeah.
And they hung him that day on the same gallows that he was gonna hang Mordecai.
I was gonna stop putting the spirit
And all his sons.
going his wife to do that.
Yeah.
Push them over.
Yeah, fire.
Finalized.
That's beautiful. And do you know what else came out of that?
Yup, Purim. Purim came out of that.
Yep.
And what Purim means lot. So they casted a lot because Haman set up a decree to murder all Israel. And it was set up on the 13th day. That's why Purim is the 14th day and the 15th, because that's when we overcame. Fiery. So ultimately, what do we got to fear? Who are you holding, brother? Can you get Romans 15 and 4, the things written aforetime?
That's going. I think that's going to happen in vocab in a certain way.
Well, either way it's gonna.
Yep.
Whether or not you literally are, you are coming in that spirit, bro.
Well, it's spiritual because he got hung, and it says in Matthew 18, he shall better.
Wow.
And his 10 sons. So the shield squad went down too.
Because he offended. He
Yeah.
offended the little one.
It's extremely offensive because ultimately it's white supremacy that you're pushing.
Right.
And when you go further into Christian history, European Christian history, the onslaught, murder, and atrocities that they done to our people is disgusting. It's just I did a lesson on it. Everything that the early European Christians came and did here, the Christians tell us, oh, love your neighbor. They didn't do that. Where's the love? They didn't show that. They tell us to be Christ-like. They weren't.
Well, they still are not.
Right. Let's read that real quick.
This is Romans 15, verse 4.
Is that it?
Romans 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
See, and we just went through one. We just went through things that were written aforetime. Keep going.
Were written for our learning.
You brothers know what the word learning means in the Greek? Instruction. Instruction. So it's our instruction. This is our instruction manual.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
There you go. So blessed is he that readeth. You know, I sat there and read that, man. Felt like I was on the battlefield. You know what I mean? I'm reading, oh shit. You know what I mean? I couldn't put the book down. And that really was his spirit, you know? And when I found out through my own personal endeavors that Haman was an Edomite, I'm like, yo, this dude, and he was an Edomite prime minister under the Persian Empire. So the Persians set him up. And that shows you, going back, different kings, different spirits, that shows you even the Persians, they was at a level of peace with us. Because the Persians allowed us to rebuild the temple. Cyrus, and then Darius had to reread the records.
Yep.
See, they kept records. And then the records under King Xerxes saved Mordecai from Esau murdering him. And like the brother said, and then Mordecai further on made a decree that we could fight back. They rounded up Haman's 10 sons and hung their ass right with him. Hung his ass right with him, which like the brother said when he's speaking about it, Isaiah 14 and 21.
Yep.
All right? Isaiah 14 and 21.
Prepare a lot.
Yep. So
Prepare, key
yep.
word.
Yeah, be prepared.
Make ready.
Yep. Let's keep going.
Go back in Edges, right?
Yeah, make those points.
Back in
And then whatever else.
Back in second Edges 16 and verse 68. And it says, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you being idle.
Yeah, like Haman's decree. All right, like King Antiochus' decree. Okay, taking like the onslaught of 70 AD. And we've said it before. They ran out of trees crucifying Jake. Okay, just like in Nina Simone's Strange Fruit. They probably ran out of branches hanging Jake. Okay, so there's always been a point in history where the onslaught on our people was just, it was high level, man. That's why you have Jacob's trouble. There's going to be far worse. That's why Elder Pastor said you're going to think Jake is exterminated. It says they're exterminated. They're going to try to exterminate Jake. Keep going.
And it goes on to say, and feed you being idle.
See, feed you being stationary. One in particular spot. You know, locked down on a gurney. However, I remember I had a dream where I was in a line with nothing but Jake, and we all wearing orange jumpers, and it was a line, like a corridor of a prison. You know, like the prison stairs are, you standing and it's got the fence. It could be a stairwell, but it's got like a fence all around it, so you can't like jump over the rail. We were standing there, and I remember we were in line joking, but at the front of the line was a machine where they put you in it, and it had like 4 claws, and it would twist your head off.
They have that too.
Yeah, but I had a dream about that. But I was like in the back, and we was just laughing, like joking and shit. But we were in a line leading to be executed. You know?
You'll really be free.
Yeah, hell yeah. Ultimately be free.
Right.
You know?
I got that.
Yeah.
This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 4.
Beautiful. Which we always like to start at 1 for history's sake, and it is good, you know.
Yeah,
We can real quick get it, because they're getting it. You want it
Okay.
real quick. We'll go quick.
All right.
We'll go quick. You start it, brother. Yeah. No, you good. Yeah, there you go.
This is Revelation 20, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven,
Yep.
having the key of the bottomless pit,
Yep. The angel being Yahushai, Rev 1 and 18 tells you that.
and a great chain in his hand.
Yep. The power to judge. Okay. Life and death. Yep. John 17.
He that shut it and no man open it.
There you go.
He that open and no man shut it.
There you go. Keep going.
And he laid hold on the dragon.
Oh, and the bottomless pit being Europe.
Yep.
That's why, because Europe is a fucking pit. That's why this Somalian comedian, she said we need to balance racism. She was like, you know how you guys say immigrants go back where you came from? She was like, well, you got to think like the sun. The sun is like that. When the sun burns you, it's telling you go back where you came from, immigrant. That's why it's cloudy in Europe. So it's funny as shit. Like, right? So they know to a degree your ass from that region, right? So the pit being Europe. Keep going.
And laid hold on the dragon,
Yep.
old serpent,
Which is the Roman Empire, which specifically the Western Roman Empire,
Pagan.
or the pagan Roman Empire.
dealing with the 12 Caesars.
Thank you, because you didn't have the Holy Roman Empire till Jake, right?
Damn, get his name right. 325 AD.
Yep.
Constantine,
Constantine.
which is the devil and Satan,
Yep.
and bound him 1,000 years.
Right, and when you look into history, it's like literally 1,000 years.
325 AD to 1325.
See? So 1,000 years he was bound in a lower state. Watch, keep going, that's what it's gonna say.
And he cast him into the bottomless pit,
The Caucasus Mountains.
and shut him up,
Yep.
and set a seal upon him.
That's why you have the book of the 13 tribe to this day. That's where the Ottoman Turk Empire came from. This is why you have Vlad the Impaler. What's a nigga, the Edomite try to say they came from, they're related to Vlad the Impaler. No, bro, you're related to the people that he was impaling.
Right. Turks. Right.
Turkaloo.
Yeah.
And shut him up and sell upon him.
That seal braiding by the bushes. That's how he's like. They kind of communicate in a throat vocals.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Even today in the military.
Yeah.
That
Ooh,
shit.
ooh. You know. Keep going.
That he should deceive the nations no more,
Yep.
till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled.
Yep. And then he came out and he started marrying in. You know, that's why he had the Renaissance, because he started marrying in, and also the bubonic, that played,
Black Death.
yeah, that played a major part to help him come into power. Which the Black Death is why you have the song "Ring Around the Rosies," and also why people today say "bless you," because sneezing was the first sign of having it. So, oh, hey, brock it down.
Don't die.
They walk away.
Right.
Keep going.
Die on.
Yeah.
And after that, he must be loosed a little season,
And
which
now-
is what? Renaissance.
Yep.
The rebirth of the Roman Empire.
Yep.
Which is what we're living in right now.
Yep.
Rome, New York.
Yep.
It goes into what I think is it. Malachi 1:4, the Father said things about rebuild church and rebuilding the desolate places.
Beautiful. Yep. That's fire. Yep.
Because the Lord threw down, he built.
Yep. Rebuilding his empire, his status, which that's a whole camp right there, talking about from Renaissance till today.
Right. And I saw, we ought to talk about Christopher Columbus.
Yes.
When he came, what the Christians did,
Yeah.
the Spanish,
Horrible.
because those were the first little horns or
Horn head.
head that had a root over here in Babylon
Yep.
before they had to get plucked up.
Yep.
You
It's a
know?
good ass point.
Then
Exactly.
you had the British and then you had the French.
Yep.
Which they all got plucked up out of here, man. You know?
That's a good point.
And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. So this looks like
No.
one thing about this chapter is the time jump.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
So I was going to say, this is John now seeing after the little season's over. So he's seen after the little season over, he's seen thrones of Israelite men sitting on them. See?
Right, time jumps. It goes from the medieval times to right now, because we know the rebirth.
Yep.
And then to the kingdom.
Yep.
You know, and even the great tribulation. It says, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the dragon, neither his image, neither had received his bite upon their foreheads or in their hands.
Wow.
And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years.
Y'all brothers know what that means? 1,000 years?
That's the millennium.
It's basically like the first, if you call it if you could say the first 10 generations to build, and then that's when we're going, it's like the orientation.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the first 1,000 years of ruling the planet, then nations are going to get their lands, everything's going to get back settled. So we're going to build, and 1,000 years is one day, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be the first day of the kingdom of
That
ruling.
first day, Joshua was going to be in captivity.
Right,
The whole day.
right.
You know?
And then after he's done away with, then the settling will take place and things will start just flowing how they're supposed to. That's all I was just going into. That's all I was going to. But the point we were pulling out of that is, right, harmony. But the point we're pulling out of that is that John saw men that didn't consent. So it's going to come to a point of a life or death situation, okay? And we've already, that's why Paul was ready to die, but he said, it's needful for me to be here. You know, and I've went there like, man, but we got to be here. We got to be here, because better is a living dog than a dead lion. So we got to be here. And we want, and ultimately we do want to be here, because I want to be delivered with the brothers. I want to see the end, fall of my enemy. You know, I can humbly say Esau is my enemy. I could say Babylon is my enemy. I'm in captivity. You know?
Like even in the world where I didn't know that you couldn't kill yourself biblically,
Right.
it was still a fear
Yeah.
of not knowing what
Yeah.
after.
Well, you know what's funny?
No.
I never believed in hell, but I did, now that you said it, and I remember, I did believe, but if you kill yourself, you ain't going to heaven. Like, I remember having that feeling, like,
yeah.
you can't kill yourself, bro.
Right.
You're not supposed to do that.
a no-no.
That's a no-no. You can't do that. Like, that's something you can't turn back from. You know? So then I always said, well, I want to die saving someone. That's how I was my spirit. That's why my mom, she used to be like, if the store's being robbed, don't do nothing. Because I be like, I'm going to stand up. You know what I mean? But that was the Lord's spirit putting in us, because it says, who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? See, people, they have a misconception, like Kick-Ass. He stood up, but like the Lord ain't tell you to stand up and fight small crime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Come out here and preach, man.
Right.
You see, we got to be guided. You know, let's finish that.
Back in 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 69. 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 69, and it goes in to say, and they that consent unto them.
Yep, they that agree. Like he gave you the paperwork. He said, do you agree? Yeah. Yep.
Shall be had in derision.
Do you brothers know what derision means?
Running. On the run.
Fuse.
Mockery.
Okay.
You'll be mocked. Like Sarah. Hey, ask Crud Design. It was a spirit. I was laughing. Bro, when I watched that show, I was cracking up, man. She was like, fuck you. Yo, that shit was hilarious, bro. She was sitting there. She was screaming and shit. Because at first, when she was sitting there eating a bagel, and it was like, what do you like? And she was like, well, you know, like friends. Like she was saying all type of PC statements, you know? And then it got to a point when it took control over her. She was fighting against it. It was dropping her.
Yep.
She had to tase herself to fall asleep so it couldn't control her. I mean, it was hilarious to see what she was going through when she consented to this, you know, to this charagma.
You asked for it.
So we're gonna ultimately laugh at these people. We're gonna laugh at them. Like when the black woman was talking about the side effects,
Yeah.
it may have sounded grievous, but you know what? It was laughable what you were going through. You know, the cell phone rings and you feel like you're in a microwave. Well, that's what your ass get going to the wicked.
Right.
You know?
That's what the Most High said.
Oh,
He
shit.
said,
What the fuck?
Crazy. Oh, this is humping the pole.
He probably some drugs.
That's an Edomite. That's an Edomite. Oh, he stopped. He knew the camera was on him. He looked like one of the characters in the movie Gamer.
Yeah,
When they had that, they had that.
The Sims. Some shit.
They had they had an arena.
Yeah.
Look, no mercy. Can't pick you up, player.
You can't open the door?
Nope.
Damn.
See? No
Nigga
mercy.
need to be put down.
Yeah, this man was humping a light pole.
That nigga need to be put down.
He's probably gonna ask it to marry him.
Damn.
Like married. Like get a medal honor.
Back in 2nd Ezra
Probably your
16.